Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Road Less Traveled podcast, where we are talking about travel.
That's right. Or we'll say good morning. You say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you're tuning in from.
True.
Whatever time of day. Welcome back.
Welcome. Bienvenidos.
Yeah, today we've got an exciting episode. We kind of touched on this 2 episodes ago, travel dupes.
So hot right now.
Or destination dupes, as it's been hot for a while now, trending on TikTok and Instagram.
Mm-hmm. If you are unaware of a destination dupe and what it is, it's a lower budget and less crowded, off the beaten path, the road less traveled kind of destinations, if you will.
Yeah, an alternative to some popular places. And yeah, overcrowding is real. I just sent you a video showcasing some of Europe's most popular places, and the crowds are just insane.
And that is why all of our group trips, our Limitless trips, are shoulder season. Like we did Limitless Italy last May. We're doing Canada this September. We do Patagonia in April. And while those can still be somewhat crowded times, they're not high season.
Yeah. I'm really happy we did our honeymoon when we did it. You know, it was the very, very end of the season. Things were closing in a couple of weeks, and we got some great weather and a lot less crowds.
Truly, some of my favorite decisions, my best decisions were an October honeymoon in Italy and an October trip to Greece.
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
I haven't done Greece. But before we dive into our list of destination dupes, let's just touch quickly on the last week that was. Lesley had surgery yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I'm tired, but here we are. I'm not taking in more pain pills, but I feel like I need to. I had a tooth extracted. And so you might hear me kind of, not, what's the word I'm looking for?
Speaking clearly.
Don't make me laugh. Yeah, you might hear that a little bit. I'm still healing, very much healing. It has been about 30 hours.
Yeah, you were knocked the fuck out yesterday.
Oh
you
my
were in
God.
bed.
Oh my God.
The anesthesia was
all the drugs.
Real. Yeah.
Yeah. But that tooth is gone. It's no longer a part of me. I had a lot of opinions and advice to go with the dental implant over the root canal. To be clear, this was a failed root canal, and I could have gone that route again, which it's kind of likely to fail again 10 years down the road, whenever, or do an implant, much less likely to fail if you take care of it.
Yeah.
Brush, floss, the normal. And it's basically like just a metal stick in your mouth and then a crown on top for a tooth.
It's pretty remarkable what they can do. The one of the doctors came in and gave me the rundown of what happened, had the graph and the diagram of what just happened, and I was like, when he's like, yep, the jaw and everything, it's just gonna like mold back into this thing that we put in here, and she can't chew and do X, Y, and Z, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
I'm glad they gave you a visual aid while I was knocked out on the table.
Yeah.
It was really nice, though. They take you back there. It's freezing, but then they bring this warm, like straight out of the dryer blanket, like weighted blanket, put it on me. I'm immediately at peace, at ease. I know that then they put the Mickey Mouse nose on me. And
I wish I was there to like capture a little bit if you said anything. They didn't let me in there, but you see all like those viral videos of like the mom or the sister recording their brother or whatever, and they start saying all the weird things on the happy gas.
Oh God, it's a great feeling. Then I was out like a light.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and it had just happened. I missed it all.
Yeah. Should we give a shout out to Blue Cross Blue Shield for not covering this one?
Screw y'all.
Fuck y'all again, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
$0 covered by Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh my God, what a scam. Dental insurance, what a scam.
Yeah, I might cancel that because obviously it's not doing me any good.
Yeah, I'm not covered. I'm not going to lie.
I wouldn't.
I'm going to put it in the bank, the dental fund when it's needed.
Oh, that was a good laugh because I'm sad today. We had to put our family dog down this morning.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for that. It's sad. Sad day.
Yeah, it was. I put on some makeup and I tried to turn my face towards the sun, get a little vitamin D and some energy. But yeah, it's it's only Tuesday afternoon and it's a rough week.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Stella. You were good. I didn't know you for very long, but the years I did, you were happy-go-lucky little girl.
Look, let's be real. You didn't like Stella.
Look, she was pretty yappy,
She's a poodle.
Yeah, I'm more of a Labrador, Rottweiler kind of guy, So yeah, I'm not a small dog person. I love dogs, but I like Labradors and golden retrievers and stuff.
That's
big
fine.
dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, rest in peace, Stella.
All dogs go to heaven.
On other news, I got my US passport in 10 days, holding it right here in my hot little hands, which is pretty cool.
Congratulations.
So, all this research we've been doing for this episode makes me want to use this US passport now.
Where to, sir?
So let's dive into our list of international destination dupes.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's go.
This is obviously very subjective.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we made this list based on, places we've been. I for the last 10 years, as I've been like this active traveler, I have frequently gone to places and I'm like, oh, this place reminds me of blank. This place is just like blank. Obviously, knowing that each and every destination has certainly a charm and character and culture of its own, and can stand on its 2 feet. But it's wild when you go zigzag across the world and you're like, wow, this reminds me of this place.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of that is, it's seen in this list.
Yeah, so I'll start off. Number 1, Lake Bled, Slovenia instead of Switzerland.
Both amazing places. But yeah, everybody knows Switzerland is a pricey destination.
Yeah.
And look, I think I'm a firm believer that you can make any destination as expensive or as inexpensive as you want or need. But Switzerland's known to be pricey. Lake Bled, Slovenia, not as known. Not as big.
It has the Bled Island, one of the most picturesque lakes in Europe, and one of the most pictured lakes, I would say. And we've been there, and we went there after being in Berlin and doing that Ritz-Carlton summer campaign. And you were like, I really want to go to Slovenia.
I did. It's been on my list for so long, and it did not disappoint.
Was that 2019?
Yeah, 2019. That was a good year.
And it was spectacular. We rented a car and we drove all around the countryside. There's castles everywhere. It's green and just the people are friendly. The food was exceptional.
Okay, y'all got to go stay at a place called Beeland.
Oh yeah, we did a video on that.
Oh my God.
There's a YouTube video of, and you're cracking all the beautiful jokes, bee jokes, the bee puns.
This is in Slovenia. It's truly there. You stay in a beehive.
Shout out to the Bee Hotel. Yeah.
God, place is
Beeland.
awesome. Yeah, Beeland.
Yeah.
So cool.
But yeah, we loved Slovenia. So definitely a cheaper alternative to Switzerland.
Dare I say Hungary instead of France?
Yeah.
Can I go there?
I suggested this one because when we went to Budapest on that Ritz-Carlton summer campaign and we stayed there, I loved it. And we had one dinner and wine tasting one night. And the guy was just whipping out all these Hungarian wines. I'm like, are you sure this isn't French? And I was blown away by how good the Hungarian wine was.
Yeah, the culinary delights do not disappoint. There's a vibrant culture, a lot of stunning architecture.
Stunning.
So there are some parallels for sure to France.
Buddha and the pest side.
Yep.
Buddha and the pest side. And I just remember kind of tiptoeing back and forth there with you, just like with my camera, just taking all these beautiful photos. And I think it was the Buddha side, which is the higher side, maybe. But looking down with the river below, and it was just, stunning.
Yeah, it offers a similar charm. And the main drag in Budapest was modeled after the Champs-Élysées in Paris.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah. No, really loved Budapest. So something to check out.
Okay. I've been to Lake Como and I've been to Lake Atitlan, Guatemala. Two vastly different places. But I really do think this paradise in Guatemala is a dupe for Lake Como.
Okay.
Lake Como is in northern Italy, known as, very, very expensive. That's where, what's his name has a house?
Oh, The guy from the show. He's the Nespresso guy. George Clooney.
God.
George Clooney?
Yes.
Yeah, George Clooney.
Oh my God. So
The Nespresso guy.
the Nespresso guy. Wow. That's great. When did I go to Lake Atitlan? 2018, I believe, and it is stunning. It's in Guatemala. It's a freshwater lake at about, I think, 500 feet above the ocean. It's surrounded by all these little villages and towns. So much culture there. But when you look out, like, I don't know, you could be in Lake Como for all you know.
Yeah, much cheaper too, I'm assuming. I haven't been to either of those places, so I'll lean into your expertise there, Les. That sounds like a good one.
Yep.
Number 4, Albania instead of Greece.
I've heard a lot of Albania recently. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like having a moment or up and coming, or maybe it's already here. It's come.
Yeah.
But
I mean, for those that don't know where Albania is, it's right next to Greece. It's on the Adriatic Sea there, coastline. Neighboring countries include Macedonia, Montenegro, and Kosovo. And apparently it is very religious tolerance for both Muslims and Orthodox Christians. Very accepting people.
Put it on the list.
But a lot of people messaged us about Albania. So
yeah, it's one of those places I can't really speak to quite.
Yeah. Well, we
fluently.
haven't been there. I think I would love to go and check it out and go to Greece because I haven't been there either. But
it's popular for a reason.
At least we could then compare the prices too. I'm sure it is a bit cheaper than Greece.
Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite dupes, Sri Lanka instead of South Africa. And when we think of South Africa, we think about the wildlife, right? When I went on my solo adventure to Sri Lanka, I won't go into the haunted hotel story.
We touched on that last week, didn't we?
But I went on safari and saw some amazing things.
Elephants?
Asian elephants.
Yeah.
Leopards.
Wow.
It was so cool. And I didn't really know I was getting myself into that. Like I that's why you travel, right? To learn and to see and experience. And it was really awesome.
What year was that you went?
That was my trip right before we filmed Bachelor Winter Games. So the
2017?
very, very end of 2017.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, how do you feel about Hvar, Croatia instead of Amalfi?
Yeah, a lot of people, messaged us going, what's a dupe for Amalfi? Because part of that video I just sent you showcasing all the crowds is, the ferry, people lining up at Positano there and just full crowds at Amalfi Town and Positano. Just insane in the summer from what I saw in that viral video of just how bad the over-tourism is. But Hvar is a group of islands off...
I think is it Hvar just one?
Well, Hvar's one island, but then there's a group of islands off Hvar. And you catch the ferry from Split like we did. And we went at a pretty busy time of year, I would say, when we went in terms of like weather.
Yeah.
Lots of yachts there, lots of people, but it didn't feel overcrowded at all.
No.
And we found a really cheap, apartment to rent. And
it has that same energy and feel because Croatia and Italy are right across the street.
Across the way.
The way from each other.
Same but different.
Yeah.
Loved Hvar. Highly recommend. Next on my list, I put this one together. Nha Trang and Hoi An in Vietnam instead of Bali, Indonesia.
I can see that. I love Vietnam. Hoi An is just like a special gem of a place though.
I went many, many moons ago in my 20s and I felt a calling to go there. I studied history and I loved what Vietnam represented and the people, and there's a lot of Vietnamese Australians, and highly, highly recommend putting Vietnam
on the list.
And you can make it as cheap or as expensive as you like there, but the food and you can get by really cheap there in Vietnam. This one is, two totally different places. You got Cambodia instead of Egypt. Now, if you want to go and see some old school temples, it's not the pyramids, obviously, but you've got the Angkor Wat, the Angkor Thom temples there, which are just absolutely spectacular. A lot of history there.
I second that. I'm going to go one step further and say another place in Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to stay here many moons ago. It did not work out, but it's still on my list. Song Sa private island in Cambodia over the Maldives.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen some highlights of that.
And when I say over the Maldives or over another destination, I don't mean that in a negative connotation. I just mean these are all dupes.
Yeah, and budget friendly. Like Cambodia is so cheap. I remember going, and I can't imagine it has changed too much. I think it was actually having a really, really big moment when I went because of Angelina Jolie and Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
She really liked that movie and that series. Them filming there really put Cambodia kind of on the map, but it really is a hidden gem and not overpopulated with tourism.
It is. So it's a dupe for, I think, quite a few places. And then I think for the Maldives, a lot of people are like, what's a dupe for the Maldives? And I will say, the one and only time I've been to the Maldives, it was beautiful. It was amazing. It really is paradise. It is a bitch and a half to get to. Okay. Literally in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
I didn't know that.
It you know, and a lot of times I will say the best places to get to are the hardest places. Yeah. But I do really think like there are a lot of places out there that look like, feel like, could be the Maldives.
Yeah. On that note, was it you that said when you were there, it just felt like everyone was on their honeymoon?
I'm sure. I mean, yeah. I was with my mom.
But is that like a weird feeling, like going somewhere that is such a honeymoon destination like the Maldives
a little bit
to see everybody's like in love and new couples and
a little bit. I mean, my mom and I had the best time. That was such a fun trip with her. We went to quite a few places together. But yeah, I mean, it screams honeymoon destination.
Yeah.
I think you could do Malaysia for a hell of a lot cheaper. And I think we took off from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to get to Maldives. So it's one way less flight time. Thailand, Bali, even the Bahamas. You could look up.
Or the Philippines.
Yeah, look up, be on a beautiful stretch of beach and see this crystal, like blue turquoise water in front of you and be like, am I in the Bahamas or am I in Maldives?
What about us in St. John next month? That could be. With the waters and everything you're describing there. All right, it's Australia's time here, guys. This one came up on Expedia's destination dupes. Perth, Australia instead of Sydney, Australia. Now, I'm going to tell you something. As an Australian, I've never been to Perth. It is a long, long, long way. I think it's a 5.5 or a 6 hour flight to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. And the West Coast is massive and there is just a whole lot of nothing there on the West Coast, which makes for spectacular coastline, turquoise beaches. I think it could also be that Western Australian seaboard could also be a destination dupe for the Great Barrier Reef too. Just so much beautiful coastline. There's national parks everywhere and you have these big red landscapes that meet the ocean. Yeah, it's spectacular over there, but I haven't been and I want to go.
Yeah, we got to get you there.
We got to go.
I feel like I've seen more of your country than you have.
Have you been?
No. Yeah. I haven't been to the West Coast, but
let's go. I've
been a lot more other places in Australia. I have a dupe for Australia.
Tell me.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, enlighten me. Tell me why.
Well, it's a lot closer to home where we currently are. Maybe not your home, but your second home.
Yeah.
Here. When I think of Australia, I think about wildlife, and they have so much wildlife down in Costa Rica. They have rainforest, pristine beaches, that thrill factor, all the adventure.
This is true.
And so I do feel like it's a good dupe. And it's a lot smaller. It's a lot easier to get around and less expensive.
Yeah, I would say Costa Rica, from what I've heard, I haven't been, known for incredible beaches and surfing and jungle. And we have all of that on the Australian eastern seaboard. So I would agree with that. That's a good dupe, and it would be cheaper for Americans to get to Costa Rica and do that than Australia, for sure.
I think we get into some U.S. locations.
This is good because quite a few people sent us DMs going, hey, give us some dupes for like US spots for international.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love these.
That was a great idea for all of you that sent us that message. So Les, start the list.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start off. Oh man, where to start off?
It's a good list.
It's a really good list. I love a lot of these. I'm going to go, look, this is hard, right? Like, it's not going to be just like your international flair that you're going to get by jumping on a plane and going overseas.
Yeah.
Just prefacing that.
Yeah, I think I had a little debate with you, and I'm like, it's not going to be Europe. You're not going to have the foreign language. You're not going to have the food, the culture, but it's going to be cheaper because you're staying in your home country.
And there are parallels and synergies to these places. So every summer, the south of France is painted purple with all of these lavender farms.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that in Mount Hood, Oregon. And you have a beautiful snow-capped mountain in the backdrop.
Yeah, Mount Hood is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Love Oregon. And the wine out of Oregon and France, there's some parallels right there between the two.
Take me back.
Take me to Oregon. Yeah.
More parallels. What about, this is one of my favorite places in South America. So my heart leads me there over the Dupe every time, but the Boonville Salt Flats in Utah for the Uyuni Salt Flats in Bolivia.
Do they get the water on the salt flats? Like,
is it Boonville? I don't know. I've never been there, but I see it all the time, and they look strikingly similar.
Let's go with Boonville.
I don't know. I think might be Bonneville. I don't know. I don't know, but the photos look very similar. Mm-hmm. However, I'm not sure if Utah salt flats get the mirrored effect.
Takes that water.
Yeah, like from January to April in Bolivia, it's rainy season. So the water reflects the sky and you get that mirrored image like you are in heaven. You
got that Instagram-y picture down there.
Sure do, and I can't wait to go back.
I've seen some drone shots at that spot at sunset and it looks fake. It's unreal. Mm-hmm. I want to get down there. Mm-hmm. But maybe we can get to the others, to Boonville. Get some water on there and make it happen.
All right. How about the Danish capital of America, Solvang, California, for Denmark?
I recommended this one. I actually have never been to Solvang, which is it's quite known for their proximity to Santa Barbara and great wine. Mm-hmm. And, there was a Danish settlement there from the 1800s.
You get the Danish vibes when you're there. I've been a couple times.
Yeah.
And it's very true. And it's a cute little quaint area in California.
Super cute.
It is. Oh, I did a partnership there with my sister and then I went back another time and it is so cute.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I'd love to go. Putting that on my list. Surprised I haven't been there.
All right. You're going to love this one. Instead of our favorite place of Huacachina, Peru.
Oh my God.
White Sands National Park.
Have I been to White Sands National Park?
I think it's in New Mexico, correct?
I don't think I have.
I do believe it's in Mexico.
I think we drove past it.
We drove past it. We really wanted to stop there when we moved from LA to Arkansas.
Car was a shit show.
Oh, it was just, we couldn't
Packed
leave.
to the brim.
Yeah, we couldn't leave the car on the side of the road. Like it just wasn't the time. We'll go back.
Yeah, I'd love to go.
But something tells me we're going to like White Sands National Park over Huacachina, Peru.
Huacachina, man. Gosh, that was...
It's just one of those places that you see online and you're like, oh, I gotta go here.
These damn Instagrammers with their overly photoshopped pictures and the cool little oasis down the bottom. We got totally trapped.
Well, to set the scene, it's a lake, an oasis surrounded by these massive sand dunes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's just a little bit more for backpackers.
Yeah, it's a little run down and it's not...
Which isn't, that's not a bad thing.
I'm getting old and sassy.
Yes, that's it.
Look, if I was like, a hairy backpacker from the UK or Australia, I would love it, but I'm not. Here's one: New Orleans for France.
I mean, everybody knows New Orleans.
The Big Easy
is inspired by France.
I've been down there. There's the French influence, but it's also an absolute
shit show.
Shit show. Everyone's on the piss.
It's got a lot of sides to it. New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
Sure does. The Big Easy maintains its French heritage with cuisine, Creole culture.
I got a bit cray-cray down there one time with Coke.
I'm sure you did.
That's another story we'll take offline.
Colorado for Switzerland.
Oh, you know how much we love Colorado. We were just there.
Stunning. And yeah, you could be somewhere stunning in Colorado and be like, yeah, this could be Switzerland.
I'm pretty sure Vail was, when they built and designed Vail, the town, it was basically, they copied Switzerland.
Well, I
think they copied Zermatt, Switzerland. So, yeah, the bridge, some of the architecture there with the buildings, very Swiss influenced.
Okay, here's one place I've wanted to go in the U.S. that I've actually been abroad. Instead of Norway, the Adirondacks of New York.
What?
Yeah.
Where? Where is it?
Upstate New York.
Oh,
I've always
is
wanted
that near
to,
Buffalo?
I think so.
I think I did a shoot.
I don't know. I really want to go to upstate New York, like the Finger Lakes district.
I did a shoot there, filming Ferraris around a racetrack, and it was very green. It was very hot. It was summer, and some of the guys went out to see some waterfall.
It can be very fjord-like.
Okay.
Just like Norway. Apparently, there's the Indian Head and Fish Hawk Cliffs hikes that overlook a few lakes, and with those rising peaks, it's a lot like the fjords of Norway, which I'm so into.
Let's put that on our list.
Oh, I've been wanting to go for a long time.
Man, I just want to travel again. Anyway.
All right. I think you're gonna like this one too. Instead of this is one place I really want to go. Namibia.
Yep, Namibia. Yep.
Coral Pink Sand Dune State Park in Kanab, Utah.
We've been there.
We have.
It's beautiful.
It's stunning.
It kind of just pops out of nowhere.
I know. And a lot like that red pop of sand in Namibia, the sand in the Coral Pink Sand Dunes, they get that unique pink color from the eroding Navajo sandstone.
Yeah, wow. One of my friends has been to Namibia and did some filming out there. And one thing you're not going to get at the Coral Pink Sand Dunes is the wildlife. And I think it was like a cheetah or something. They had a ranger, and they were like, it was chasing the ranger and my buddy with his camera, and just elephants and giraffes, and it was just the birds. Namibia, we got to go there.
I know.
Coral Pink Sand Dunes can do for B. A B option.
Yeah. All right, I love this one because we've been to Catalina. One of our very first places together was Catalina Island in California.
Yeah.
So instead of Cinque Terre, Italy, go to Catalina Island, California.
Yeah, it's a funny little, you just pull up on the ferry there, and then just everything's right there, essentially, on when you get there. And
you really do feel like you're in Europe.
It's wild. It's a really weird.
It's a ferry ride from LA.
Yeah.
But you are transported worlds away. It's got you covered with ocean views, fresh seafood, hiking, beaches, and cars are really limited there too. Yeah. Yep. A lot like Cinque Terre.
Yeah, how to get there? You go to the port of Los Angeles, which is Long Beach, and you get the ferry across. I think it's an hour or two, and bang, you're there. Easy done. You're in Europe, baby.
Boom.
Like California.
Oh, wow. Instead of one of my very favorite places, which I'm transporting myself there. I need some peace. The bamboo forest of Kyoto, Japan.
We're going to Japan soon, but where is it? Where are we going instead of there?
Well, a dupe is still stateside. It's if I butcher this, I'm very sorry. Pipiwai Trail in Maui, which I've actually done. It's part of the Haleakala National Park, and it's one of the stops along the road to Hana.
Yep.
We actually were about to do it. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I do.
But it was when we had Nora, who was 3 months, and we did the road to Hana, which I would not even recommend, even to my worst enemy.
I don't know who was worse, Nora or how you were reacting. Nora just wouldn't stop crying on the road to Hana, and Leslie's just couldn't handle it. And I'm trying to drown both of them out.
I was 3 months postpartum, okay, and I thought it was a good idea to take a baby on the road to Hana. Anyway, similar bamboo forests. It's not Japan, but it's Maui, and we love Maui. It's stunning. Anyway, I tried to get us to do that, and it was at the very end of the road to Hana, and we were like, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. Give me a beer. It's
a big there are a lot of stops on the road to Hana, and it's extremely touristy and busy, and it's a very narrow, dangerous road, and a lot to do. in a very little time if you're doing it in a day and with a 3-month-old. So if you can ditch the kids, I highly recommend. You can see more there. But gosh, it was beautiful. Remember those rainbow eucalyptus trees as well?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
Magical. It's truly like Mother Nature at her finest.
Maybe it was connected to Japan once upon a time too. Because,
Pangea?
Pangea, yeah, probably. Tectonic plates. Millions of years ago when the dinosaurs were roaming. Maybe. What else you got for us, Les?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that it?
That might be it.
That's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
That was really good with those domestic international dupes.
Oh yeah, I mean there are plenty more.
Are we the first to do that? I don't know if I've seen any of that.
I doubt we were the first.
Well, I don't know. I did a bit of research for this one. Maybe do a blog post on the Road Less Travel.
I love it.
That's a great blog post.
Yeah. I think that was a big call out too. Like where can people go, U.S. based, that are a lot like international counterparts?
Not everybody wants to drop $2,000-$3,000 on international round trip flights, and much cheaper to do domestic trips. So that's really cool. Thanks to everyone that messaged us about those domestic dupe international ideas. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty great.
You're welcome. Follow me for more tips.
Well, I think we're going to keep this episode pretty short and sweet for everybody.
Life is short. Book the plane ticket.
Yeah. I think this episode has really inspired me to get... I'm holding my new US passport here, and I'm really excited. Like, what is going to be the first stamp?
I don't know. We need to make some summer plans, to be honest.
And all this talk of travel right now, I'm really throwing in Japan in the mix here.
I'm gonna whittle off some summer travel facts. It's not too late to book your summer travel.
Okay.
I'm going off that advice for us because we have not booked our summer travel, but
we haven't. You
want to book at least 60 days in advance, and then the sweet spot for domestic is 45 days in advance. But airlines are ramping up for a record travel this summer.
Yeah, I think everybody is still post-COVID trying to go to their destinations that they didn't get to go to for a year to 2 years there during the pandemic. So, yeah, and there aren't enough planes thanks to Boeing right now.
Yeah. Apparently, airfare is 10% less than on average this time last year.
Okay.
So I'll take it.
Good
and
to
then,
know.
Of course, for some other tips on savings, like it depends on when your travel days come up. Obviously, like a Tuesday and a Saturday are going to be less expensive to book than a Thursday, Friday, or Sunday.
Yeah. Again, like we highlighted in that episode 2 episodes ago on the international destinations right now that are cheap. Use the Google Calendar and, be flexible with your travel dates to get some cheap flights.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our Destination Dupes episode. I hope you guys liked it. I know I found some new destinations that I want to go to. So we got to book our summer travel soon here, Les.
So soon, like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe us, all that good stuff. We really appreciate your support here.
We'll see y'all next week.
See you guys.